I am here with my amazing client, Hannah, from Jarvis Bay in northern New South Wales, I believe.
We're south.
Southern New South Wales. And Hannah is here because Hannah, as you can see from the titles of this video, has made some massive changes. And all up, I think Hannah's lost 20 kilos. Not all of it with me, about 12 kilos with me and 8 by yourself, Hannah?
Yep.
Yep. And so, I can't take all the credit, but I'm just saying that Hannah is one of the busiest people I know. And I'd love you just to talk us through a normal week in your household, Hannah.
Okay. So basically, I have 3 children. My youngest is 14 months old. I have a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old. So the 2 oldest go to school. So we are up from around 6:30 to 7:30, depending on which one wakes up first and how the morning's going to roll that way. It's breakfast, school routine, morning routine, out the door by about 7:45. My kids go to school half an hour drives away. So we basically get on the road, get them to school, and then I run a business in my home, which is an Airbnb. So I would come home, my baby would then be ready for her first nap, and then I would clean, organise, prep Airbnb right up until about 1:30. That takes 2 or 3 hours at least minimum. And then my husband usually comes home about midday to 12:30. So we tag team. So he'll have a bit of a sleep while I'm finishing up, and then I get ready for work, which is my actual official job, which is working as a singing music teacher, which is back in town, half an hour's drive away. So I would leave to be back at work by 2, and I would work right through till about 8 o'clock at night. And I'd get home around the time that the kids are just getting into bed, settling, and help Mark finish off. And he goes to bed as well because he works as a dairy farmer and gets up at 1 or just before 1, 12:30. So, and then it's just, it's clean up, it's getting ready for the next day, making sure school uniforms are organised, and, things for their activities, after school activities. And so that's general day.
Exhausting.
Yes, and I was exhausted.
It is. That sounds really, really full on. And I suppose, it would be really easy to let your lifestyle slip away from you when you're that busy. And obviously, when we first started talking, you had started to make a transformation by yourself.
Yeah.
How long has it taken you to actually go from where you were to now where you are?
That's a good question. I started in January. So January this year, at the busiest peak of, the summer season with accommodation and things like that, I was just so tired and not feeling like myself, and I just had enough. So I was like, okay, I know I have to do something. I know what I need to do, and I'm really, really highly interested in health and well-being. So I just basically went, I know I need to just start, lost about 8 kilos, and that's when I started going, okay, I've got so far to go. What's the next step? How am I going to get there? And I knew I couldn't really do it on my own. I was still quite overweight and still really exhausted.
Okay, and it's funny that, you've said a couple of times that you were exhausted, and yet at the moment you're still so busy, plus finding all the time to, how many times a week are you exercising?
About 4 to 5,
Okay.
depending.
And you're eating no takeaway at all at the moment?
No.
Okay, so you're cooking all your home meals,
Yeah.
whilst doing all this business, jobs, kids, exercising 4 days a week, yet you're saying you have more energy now.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel heaps like myself.
Amazing. And why, what would you say to people who think that they're too busy to actually make a change in their life?
I think the best advice I can give is don't try and take too much away. Try and add. So adding those healthier options in, or swapping them for those healthier options, and not trying to go on a mega diet and a mega, exercise regime that you might be able to keep up for 3 weeks and feel like you've failed. It was really lots of little steps, being consistent, and changing one thing at a time, even if it's just more water.
What was the first thing that you learned to change that made the biggest difference?
I added movement. So I didn't change my diet massively. I mainly because I was so busy and prep and all of that just was near impossible because I didn't have as much energy as I do now. So I set little mini challenges for myself we have a lot of stairs in our house on either side. So when I do both of the Airbnbs, I go up one set of stairs and then down the other. So my goal was to move a little bit quicker. So it was like, okay, a little bit of a, sprint, and then I'd be fully puffed by the end of it. But now I can carry my very chunky 14-month-old up those stairs, and I can sprint them and not even be puffed. No worries now.
Amazing. So it sounds like what you're saying seems to be pretty in check with the way I like to work and to help people, is that this is a long-term thing. Don't try and go too fast too soon. Make little changes.
Absolutely, because then it's just ingrained into your life. It's, you know how to make the educated decision when things arise. You're like, actually, I don't even want that, or I'd actually really like to go for a run, not because I feel like I have to, because I want to. And
this is a thing that I'm very passionate about, which is essentially that so many diet plans, so many are a little too full on it, and there's so much pressure on people to actually be to move too fast and to take on too much. And I love the way that you, Hannah, have just made it realistic for your lifestyle, and more importantly, you haven't quit when it's gotten difficult. You've kept on going, just one day at a time. You and your husband Mark, and I know that your kids are benefiting from that as well. The way that they're now eating healthier, less convenience food in the house. There's more movement in the house, and therefore more energy, and that is going to sustain your family and keep going for many, many years to come, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And that's been my main focus and my main goal, because it just promotes relationship, and that's probably my main, I guess, what means the most to me in life is relationships, and definitely getting out about and talking about food and lifestyle, and doing it all together just becomes a natural thing for them, which is really nice.
Totally. One team, one dream. Teamwork makes the dream work. All those things. And Hannah, as for anyone out there watching, is an awesome member of our client community as well. Always engaging, always helping out the other girls. Even when she's busy, she's always wanted to step up and empower other people to do better herself. So Hannah, for that and for this little short interview, I cannot thank you enough. For all your time, your energy, your efforts as a client, as we've grown to be good friends as well. Yeah. And really, really proud of you. And I'm sure that this video will inspire a lot of mums out there, a lot of busy people, that they can always fit it in if they care and if they want it enough.
100%.
100%. So thank you so much, Hannah. I'll let you go back to your busy schedule. And I cannot wait to see you back in the group. And don't forget to get that food journal to me on Sunday night.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hannah. I'll see you later. And thanks for watching, everyone. Peace.